We're here today at Virginia State University's Randolph Farms, and we're talking today with Peter Coffey about garlic. Peter, we've got several types of garlic here in front of us. Can you tell us the two different types of garlic that we've got?
Sure. So there are two subspecies of the common garlic that we grow. There's hardneck garlic and softneck garlic. They're pretty similar, and a lot of people may have eaten hardneck garlic or softneck garlic and not known the difference. They're both usually for sale in the grocery store, just titled garlic. So the main difference that you could tell if you were looking at a bulb of garlic is that hardneck garlic has a hard, woody stem inside the clove here. You can see it's coming up here, and there's a little neck at the top. That's where we get the name hardneck. There's actually the base of the flower stalk, which is called a scape, which is an edible part of the plant that a lot of people will harvest. And is actually a high-value crop in a lot of Asia. So we've got the bottom of the bulb here, where the old roots are. We've got the root plates where the cloves are attached here. We've got the cloves here, and then we've got the scape that runs all the way from the bottom all the way up, and that's where it's going to become a flower stalk. And that's a hard little stem there that you'll sometimes find when you're breaking apart garlic cloves. Most people throw it away without even thinking about it, but that's what it is. It's the base of the flower there. Softneck garlic, you can see there's no scape base here. There's no neck, there's no stem inside of the bulb. Still have the same roots on the bottom there, and still have the same root plates where these cloves were attached. You're going to end up with a lot more variation in the cloves here. You can see they're actually bundled differently. So with the hardneck variety, each clove is kind of individually wrapped. These are also individually wrapped, but they might have additional layers in between them. You're going to end up with a lot more variation in clove size for the softneck varieties, but no scape to harvest. When you go to eat one of these, you break off a clove, you chop it up. When you go to plant this, you're going to do the exact same thing. So with garlic, you don't plant seeds like you would with most vegetable crops. You'll take a whole clove off of the bulb, leave it with the peel on if you can, because it'll protect it a little bit. And the top of the clove is pointed, and the bottom of the clove has a little root plate here. This is where the new roots are going to grow. So you want to make sure that that is pointed downwards when you plant it. You will end up with a lot worse survival if you plant it upside down, and you'll end up with a lot smaller plants. So make sure that the root plate is down when you plant it, and you're going to want to plant it down at least as far as your finger, but ideally a little bit further than that. About 2 to 4 inches is good.
Okay, in Virginia, which of these two varieties of garlic would be best for us, the hardneck or the softneck?
So generally the hardneck varieties are considered to be a little bit more cold hardy. So up north in the United States, people plant hardneck garlic, but in Virginia we can plant both of them. Garlic is very cold hardy, which is why we plant it in the fall and grow it through the winter. It can handle temperatures down to 0 degrees very easily without being damaged at all. So either of these will perform very well here.
Great. And we're going to actually go outside, and you're going to show us how to plant the cloves of garlic in the beds out here at the research center.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Let's go do it. All right, so Peter, we're out here in the garden. You're going to show us how we can plant garlic.
Yeah, so we're out here. Ideally, we'd be planting this in late October, early November, depending on our area in Virginia. And it's pretty straightforward. We want our freshly tilled soil. We want something that's well draining. And we're going to plant these cloves. Remember the root plate side down, and you're just gonna push it into the soil about as far as it'll go. Ideally, you want it about 4 inches down, and then you're gonna want to put each plant at least 6 inches apart.
Okay.
So for me, that's about this far. So I like to do that, push it into the ground, measure it again, push it into the ground, and then I'm gonna cover it up, and that's it.
Perfect. And then about how long will we see the tops come out?
About 2 to 3 weeks, depending on temperature.
Okay. And again, as you mentioned earlier, they grow throughout the winter, and then we harvest them in the spring.
Yeah. So they'll come up. Then once it gets really cold, they'll kind of stop growing, kind of hang out there. But you'll end up with like a nice green growth that stays there throughout the winter. And then once it starts to warm up in the spring, that's when you'll see a bunch of spring growth. And you can harvest it early. But you shouldn't be, if you want to get nice dry bulbs, you should harvest them late. Once about half of the leaves have dried up, that's when you want to harvest.
Peter, thank you so much for taking time today to talk to us about how to grow garlic in the home garden.
My pleasure.
For more information about how to grow garlic, contact a local extension office and talk to a master gardener. For From the Ground Up, I'm Ed Olsen. See you next time.